Hello and welcome to Business Owners Unite, the podcast where we explore the challenges, successes, and lessons learned from those who have navigated the exciting yet complex world of business ownership. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, this podcast is for you to help, inspire, and guide you on your business journey. So let's get started and unite the world of business owners, one story at a time.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Business Owners Unite podcast. My name is Kyle. Today we have Lubo KIC from Remo Staff. Is that right?
Yes, Remo Staff. That's right.
Remo Staff. Excellent. Well, I'm very excited to have you here along with us to kind of talk more about Remo Staff and everything that you do. I think that Remo Staff we've talked a bit about kind of what you do. It sounds like you do everything. So it's going to be difficult to kind of sum it up in one small kind of segment, but essentially helping business owners with finding remote staff for a range of different things. So if you don't mind, Lyubo, maybe give our audience a quick introduction of who you are and what Remo Staff do.
Oh, thank you, Kyle, for having me on this show. I have a lot of experience in operational efficiency and probably have like 20 plus years in working for big corporations. I used to work for Mars, for Burger King. I used to work for DHL as a director of operation excellence. I used to work for some iconic brands in Australia, like iconic.com.au. Marlin brands, Mosaic brands, helping with their logistics and operations. And a few years ago, I've decided to launch my own company to help smaller and medium businesses to get better life, to get more freedom. And ultimately we have created Remo Staff that is bringing time and freedom to business entrepreneurs via outsourcing.
Perfect. Definitely. I know that there's a lot of remote working platforms and things like Upwork and Odesk and things like that. How do you differ in terms of these kind of marketplace solutions? I guess obviously having you in the business and helping on board would be a big plus, I imagine.
There are, as you mentioned, there are different solutions, and Upwork is really a great platform. But if I'll put I have a different ways, and I can say a 3P processes. So if you have a project-based task, yes, it's easy for you to go to Upwork or to Fiverr or maybe some other platforms and find someone that can do a one-time job for you. So this is okay. And still, I know that many entrepreneurs are sometimes struggling. They're going to Upwork and sometimes they're getting the right result. Sometimes they're not getting the right results and they need to communicate back and forward and probably maybe to choose someone else or the quality is not the same. And again, there are absolutely great guys in Upwork, but this is, I will say, usually a project-based. If you have already some internal process mapped already, and you are looking to find some cost-efficient solutions. So maybe someone has resigned in Australia or in US or in UK, but everything is already mapped. So if this process is already mapped, that you can find someone that can work for you from overseas. And in this case, it will be more cost-efficient than Upwork if you come to. So if you'll find someone working remotely for you, and again, so. You have as well several options, so you can go and find a VA yourself, but maybe you could be lucky and you can find someone that will be working really well for you straight from the beginning. And you say, "Oh, I have found someone in a Facebook group, or someone have reached me in LinkedIn and he says he's a great VA, but how do you know?" And again, sometimes people are happy, sometimes they're not so happy with the results. So this is where there are some specialized agency professionals that are working through the full process of assessing, checking, background checking, even doing a police check, making sure that everything is compliant, and they have references. So we're doing reference check to find the right expert for business owners. So this is probably the differentiation between different marketplaces and doing your own search or working with someone like us.
Yeah, that's a really good explanation. I know that Upwork, from my experience, having worked with a lot of different businesses in the 8 years we've been running, I think a lot of people will use Upwork to find web developers or VAs, graphic designers, things like that. And they'll find that the project scope blows out, that the person doesn't really know what they're doing, or even worse, the person is not qualified at all what they said they were. And it could be a horror story, where they're not getting access to their website back. Like I've heard some terrible things going on, which is shocking. So doing police checks and actual, checking of your references is something that obviously I'd say a lot of people don't do in those situations. And I guess that's a big plus that you can offer to help business owners make sure they're getting the right person for the job.
Yeah, look, I 100% agree with you, and I had my own experience. And of course, in the past, I have used Upwork, and I have used Fiverr as well, like just to get like some kind of, again, as I'm saying, like some, let's say, I need to have I need to set up my Google Workspace, or I need to have like some kind of other support. So yeah, this is like a one-time project, or I need to maybe to help set up my instantly, or some kind of like a lead or cold email generation. But if you need to have like, or if I have my own podcast as well, so I have like a professional video and audio editor that is managing my podcast, is managing my social media, because I have selected this person from probably 100 applicants when I have searching for this type of person.
Wow.
I have given them some tests. I have his like a previous work, and this is how you are choosing an employee or a staff. And this is why we have our company name as a Remo Staff, where we don't like usually the word virtual, or like especially like a combination, like a virtual assistant, because we behind every employee, every person that is working for you, it's a real person, it's not a virtual. And this is where we recommend to our clients that you need to treat this person as your own staff that is working for you in your own office.
Gotcha. That definitely sounds like the way you should do it. You want to have somebody who's in the business every day. And if you are looking at that full-time staff member, having somebody do those checks for you and make sure that everything is kosher is a really good idea. If you don't mind me asking, how did you get into RemoServe? You said that you worked for some amazingly impressive brands before. How did you step into the world of helping people find remote staff?
Look, it's a good question, and it was like my journey. So again, in big companies, and I think the first time when I have touched outsourcing was in Mars, when I used to work in Russia. That they have like a big hub that was supporting Mars globally, like 300 people, developers in IT that was doing integration with Oracle, integration with SAP.
Wow.
And so, I would say, why? I mean, Mars was not hiring those people in US or in UK, because you can find developers in other countries that probably can work in the same way or maybe even better, but at the lower cost. So this is where I first touched outsourcing at that time. I came to Australia. I mean, between I've been working for several other companies, but when I came to Australia, I found that, well, of course, like it's in majority of the cases when you're calling to your internet provider or your phone provider, to Telstra or NBN, if you're going to reach someone nowadays, that it most probably it will not be located in Australia. It will be maybe South Africa. It will be
the Philippines,
or maybe like India. Before India was a lot of like call centers in India, so bigger businesses are using outsourcing for more than 30 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's again, like I came to Australia, I found that INZ had their first 400 developers in Hyderabad in India in 1989. I'm not sure when you were born, but again, I was going to school at the time, and they already had like 400 people developers there. So it's
that's impressive. Wow.
Big guys are using outsourcing for a long time. And look, I've been always in operational efficiency. I used to run big call centers, and what I found that some of my in the companies that I used to work, the agents in call centers were leaving and saying, "Why are you leaving?" And they were leaving because it's actually not paid very well. I say, "How come? Like I'm paying like to this agency, to BPO, like quite a lot of money," and what I found that this agency is not paying So they have like a
Yes.
big margin cutting for themselves and not taking care of people. And actually, it was affecting my business because when I get like a new agent, I need to train again. And but training a new person is like a spending time, spending
Mm.
effort, spending money in training someone that is actually, this is where I found that I'm losing my customers experience. And as I've been in those operational excellence for a long time, I say, well, I can actually create a company that can give more to people in those emerging countries, and I can establish my internal operational processes so lean that I can offer this service at a lower cost. So this is like it's still, as of today, our mission number one is to give jobs to experts in emerging countries so they can have the lives that they deserve and they can treat themselves and they can uh, uh, have the right family life. And the second is to give an opportunity to business owners in developed countries like Australia, US, UK to get and spend more time with their families or maybe on some strategical things while the routine is given away or is done by another support staff. Um, and it was like during COVID that was actually everything was booming and everything was trying to, well, you need to send everyone to work from home and everyone was trying to use Zoom, Meet, Skype,
Yep.
Teams connection. And I said, well, you, again, some businesses were struggling, especially some big corporation as they're still trying to bring back their staff. But this was, I think, the turning point when the world is not coming back anymore. It's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
be a different situation where people want to work from home. And then
Definitely.
if you can say, well, if as a business owner you can manage someone remotely working for you from Ballarat, from Sunshine Coast, or from Toowoomba, then
Yep.
what is the difference? Then you can manage
Yeah.
someone in the same way from Manila, Jakarta, Nairobi, or other countries or cities around the world. So this is where we are. This is how I have started this business, and it is developing really well. I think more and more entrepreneurs are getting benefits from this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know that I started my business 8 years ago and I've always worked online. There was only a very short time where I had an office in Brisbane and I'd have one client visit me a month. It was, to me, I was like, the writing's on the wall. Any business that can go online probably will in the future. And then when COVID hit, that really forced people to go that way. And I think a lot of people are struggling to go back because you're right. Like I think employees especially don't want to have to spend money to commute and waste their time going to an office when they could work from home, when they could actually work productively from a home office. And I think that's a big plus. So I was just wondering, when you have staff, remote staff all around the world, different time zones, how do you manage the work? I think that's one thing that I think would be quite, challenging, I guess.
I think it's depending how people can adapt and how we as a human, I think we are quite adaptive and we can explore those options. But think about the different time zones. So let me put this way. I think for majority of Australian clients, the agents, remote agents, they will be working in the same working hours as you have for your own company internally.
Yep.
But
Gotcha.
I have like some people are saying, well, I don't mind like if he will be starting 10 or 11 o'clock Australian time, that he will be working until, let's say, 11 until 8 p.m., the same 8 hours. But it will be because I'm still working longer hours. And this will be like probably even better for me when you will cover like some
Mm.
other hours. I have some businesses that are saying, well, I actually need to have some, especially in customer service, overlapping. I have someone to start early, someone to start maybe at 12 o'clock to cut because I have many of my inquiries are getting like later when people are coming home and just start to calling like 6, 7 a.m. So 6, 7 p.m.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I have some marketing agencies that they're saying, well, I need to do like a graphic design or, for example, video editing. I don't care because like and they have actually teams so we have a team in Africa and in South America because they're working around the clock. But what is happening is that actually when this business this manager is putting a task in the evening. When he's coming in the morning to his workplace, he gets this already job done, or he can give some kind of like a recommendation or comments. So it's yeah, and we have some for some IT companies, or not only IT companies, we have like a help desk or support desk that you need to have like a 24/7. So this is where there are actually a lot of benefits when you can find some people that can work in another zone, and you don't need to hire someone in Australia and pay
Yeah.
night hours or like overtime hours for him and for her to support you. And
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's actually it's so from what I understand, you're saying that there's actually a lot more flexibility when you have a global workforce because you're able to schedule the work based on the demand or needs of your customers and kind of make it work. That's very interesting.
yeah, absolutely. So definitely, so benefits, there are opportunities, and again, if you think not only benefits, but you actually, um, so let's say like a marketing agency, what they need to do, like some video editing, or they need to do like a photo retouching. So, for example, some of them they're using for the same cost of one in Australia, they're having three people, and those three people
Wow.
are working like they're working 24 hours. You have like a three shifts, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. So they
Yeah,
actually
true.
they can they're doing the triple amount of processes of editing of for their clients. So
All
you can
right.
do more. You can do more in, and doesn't matter. Like it's not only about the cost. It's about shorter period of time
Yeah.
when you can deliver the result. This is
Yeah,
what is
definitely.
important nowadays.
That's really interesting. I guess what would be the main problems, let's say, that people come to you with that they're looking for your help to solve? Like, is there anything if you could kind of I guess generalize or stereotype? Is there a specific kind of use case that you find coming up over and over again?
Um, Look, I
It's a
think
tricky one.
no, we have like a variety of clients. So we have
Yeah.
clients like ASX listed public companies. We have London Stock Exchange listed companies, and we have
Wow.
like a small, like some buyers agents or mortgage brokers, like a solo entrepreneurs that they need to have a VA. This is what I probably will say, is that different type of challenges and different type of tasks. But if I'll put like probably generalizing for smaller business owners, when they are trying to become a business owner, they say, well, why do you want to become a business owner? So you don't want to work for someone, you want to work for yourself. And
Mm.
because you want to be free and you want to have a disposal time. So you say, oh, I want to wake up when I want to go to the beach for do some surfing, and then I can do the work. What is happening that many entrepreneurs are not able to do surfing in the morning, and not able, actually they need to wake up at I don't know, at 6 7 a.m. And I'm having from some today I have received a text message like at 4:34, like it's, oh, I need a VA, like it's because this person is working from 4:30 until 11. I mean,
Wow.
well, this is like it's not like a, so as a business owner you're trying to do a lot of tasks,
Yeah.
and this is where you're taking too much on your plate, and
Yeah.
ultimately your business is not growing and you're getting
Yeah.
overloaded.
Yeah.
You're not
Gotcha.
efficient. So this routine that you can give away, and this is probably a general thing, that people are doing a lot of routine that is not paying money for them. Um,
Mm.
they're doing some things that they're not the best in, but they still continue to do whatever, like a social media posting. I'm not doing social media posting for myself. I'm not a pro in social media.
Yeah.
I'm a geek in operations. This is what I can do, like efficiency in operations, but not in social media. Why I should, and again, like it's, I'm not, English is not my first language, not my second language. I'm not. I hated to write essays in my childhood, in my school age. Why I
Yeah.
should be writing now something? So it's
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I think so it sounds like the biggest thing that you find is that people want more freedom of time and they're doing mundane tasks that they don't enjoy doing in their business. So you're able to help them find the right people who can take on the work that they don't like doing, very much like essay writing. And then they have more time to actually be a productive asset in the business, get more clients, grow the business, work on the business rather than in the business. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair to say, and we actually what we are giving to our clients. So I'm happy to give to your audience, to listeners. So we have a, a book that is giving like a 6 T's that you need to delegate, and this is what you need to find what you can delegate to your virtual assistant, what kind of task. And this is when some entrepreneurs, I'm saying, well, please write down some tasks that is taking your time,
Yeah.
and you'll have like a list of 10 tasks. And please write down some tasks that you hate to do, but you still are forced to do. And they will write down another, like probably 10 or 20. Then please write down that you need to do, but you're not the best in.
Mm.
And you are spending like, then you'll have like those tasks. And if like someone will write down, like I had like a person, they put like 2 pages of those tasks that they are still doing,
All right.
taking their time, and instead of meeting with clients and bringing money to the business, revenue to the business, they are doing those tasks. So this
Yeah.
is where I can give away to listeners, so they can do this checklist of the task, what they're doing, what they can give away.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's amazing. Yeah. Let's make sure that we share that resource because that sounds like a fantastic tool. I'd love to go through that, to be honest. That's great.
Yeah, well, no worries. Like, of course, like I will give you the link, and you'll feel free to add in the show notes, and everyone will be able to do something, and maybe they'll get more time and freedom into their life.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the whole reason that we get into our own business. I think, ideally speaking, people will start working for themselves because they want more freedom. Not so much that they want a big pile of gold that they can sleep on. It's more that they want freedom to be able to spend with their family, their loved ones, go surfing in the morning. And I think that we get caught in that trap of actually doing the work. And I can say that I've fallen into that trap time and time again. I've got a great team and they do great work, but oftentimes I'll find that I start taking more stuff from, the client workload. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. So it is one of those things where you do have to put some thought and some intention into how do you make this work? And how do you find the right people? How do you have the right processes so that you have the freedom to, if you don't want to work that day, you can. The business isn't going to fall apart. So this has been a great conversation. I'd love to learn more, though, about your journey, if you don't mind me asking, how you got into this, and I guess any of the challenges that you might have found along the way in starting your own business. Was it a smooth road, or were there speed bumps along the way? Maybe you can give me a bit of a backstory into your experience and what you found when you started your own business.
Look, I think it's a bit of like a boss situation. So I think it was a bit of
Yep.
like luck, or not a luck, but because I think because I built my trust and my experience in operations, and this is where when I have transitioning from the corporate world to my own business. I used to already to have some of my existing companies that I used to work and say, well, now I want to do not on like on your behalf, but I want to work as a separate individual right now. So
Yep.
this is where I can get like first my clients from my trustful employers in the past. And
Yep.
this is like it's a great starting point. Some challenges was for me when I was transitioning from the corporate world, from the corporate mentality to a smaller and medium business owners. I think it's a different jargon of talking and different
Yeah.
communication style, and even when you probably you are finding that I was doing a lot of tasks myself as well, and because this is how I'm starting, and I'm not saying like this is how every entrepreneur need to be doing, but again you need to understand what you can do for yourself, and then
Mm.
when you can delegate. For me, BX was a great journey when I was meeting with those type of entrepreneurs, when I have changed my language
Mm.
of communication with those people, and um, maybe not in the beginning, not straight away, but I was building my rapport with them. They are finding, they understand more what is this outsourcing, because for some of them was, I'll put like even today. So it's some people are thinking, oh, this is not for me, or oh, I never tried, oh, I am afraid, oh, what is going to happen with data of my clients, of my information. Everyone is hearing that some kind of like a data leakage from big companies. What is going to happen
Yeah.
with my business? And even some people say, well, oh, why I need to give jobs to people in the Philippines or in like in Bangladesh? Why I need to give jobs to people in Australia? Uh, and here, what is happening, and I'm giving example. So look, INZ was using this from 1989. Amazon
Mhm.
was using this for a long time ago, and um, Coles was using this for a long time ago. All the NBN, Telstra, and everyone is using this for a long time. So
Yeah.
if you're not using this, you're going to be out of your business. And if
Yeah.
you're, and I have some examples. I have like a buyer's agent that he used to do a lot of visits. He need to do inspections. This is how he is making money, because with the amount of inspections that he's making, this is how many properties he can show to his client. Uh,
Yep.
and he was doing only 20 inspections. But then when he hired the VA, he was able to do like a 40 inspections per week.
Mm.
And he actually hired another two agents, buyer's agents in Australia, that was going to do inspections, and he hired another VA. So now he has 6 real buyer's agents. So he have given jobs to 6 people in Australia. He have given jobs to 3 people in the Philippines, and his business is probably 6 times at that business used to be 3 years ago. So
Wow.
this is how you can, or you can stay at your level, or you can expand.
Yep.
So roadblocks in terms of the explanation, how you need to explain this to some
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
business owners so they can believe, understand, trust, and try. And
Yes, absolutely. That's great, man. I think I find that because I work in marketing, I understand that most customers will have problem statements, and that generally is where the customer journey starts. But then they're going to have so many objections along the way of like, well, do I want to hire people overseas? What happens with my customers' data? Like all the great examples that you've highlighted. And our job as the service provider, I guess, is to educate them in terms of why that objection is not necessarily true or accurate, and it's generally a perception or an emotional kind of response, that people have. So it's kind of overcoming those challenges and being proactive with the information as well. It's interesting that you say that it's a different jargon, different language almost, because I found that very much the same with kind of the bigger clients. They, at least in my experience, don't care as much about things that small business clients do. They're very much just, are the numbers good? Are things going well? Awesome. Whereas small business owners are very particular about a lot of different things and need to kind of have a lot more control over their marketing, I guess. Have you found it's kind of the same in terms of your experience with the larger kind of corporate clients and then the small business client?
look, yeah, definitely. I think again, it's coming with evolution of this like outsourcing, like and which era or in which age of evolution we are now. And I think big corporations, they used to have this like outsourcing back, I'm saying like 30 years ago, when there was no internet. There
Yeah.
was like a line with communication when you need to send and provide data from whatever India to Australia to INZ. And this was one era, but still like some business owners will say, well, like, oh, actually you can have a call center in Accenture, for example. Accenture was the first company that was outsourcing from US and from Ireland into the Philippines 32 years ago. So this is where they
Wow.
had the first call center. When you need to invest a lot of money to have such kind of
Mm.
facility, to have the level of telecommunication that you need to organize. But nowadays, the entry point is much lower. This is
Yep.
where, like, you have internet, and well, fortunately or unfortunately for Australia, but in the Philippines, internet is much better than in Australia. And
Yep.
again, fortunately, there are people that they know much more about, let's say, AI tools. Like
Mm.
right now, what we found that a lot of our remote experts, virtual assistants, they so again, this is coming a bit of experience because they used to work in one company. That company is using some software. Then, so let's say they used to have like some kind of like a Monday.com, or they have used like a ClickUp, or they have used Trello, and
Hmm.
they know already all these management tools when they're coming. Oh, I have used like a 3 of them. I'm easy, can use whatever. They have used several CRMs. They have used AI tools already in either so ChatGPT and like a lot of like things around the ChatGPT tools
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
a busy entrepreneur here in Austria, he doesn't have time. He
Mm.
he doesn't have time because, let's say, a landscaper or as a financial advisor, when he's meeting with his clients, he doesn't have time to use a AI tool to write a post or to write or generate an image because he's meeting with his client. And
Yeah.
this is what we found, that those type of experts from overseas, they're much more, let's say, not like a literary, but they know much more about the technology and the tools that
Mm.
exist in the market, and they can
Yeah.
become real helpers for um, for business owners in Australia. Um,
Yeah.
Another example, so if you think, so let's say I used to work in Mars, and Mars in Australia is producing like a chocolates, it's producing like again
Yep.
like a
Yep.
pet food, Royal Canin. You have like a not only Twix,
Oh,
and you
okay.
have
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's all the pet food is done by Mars, and even if you do go buy some spicy in Woolworths or in Coles, you can see Master Foods is another brand of Mars.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Yeah.
so the process of assessment in Mars is the same globally. So, for example, when I came to Mars, it was like a 200 people applicants for one role, and the same is in Australia probably. So the
Mhm.
point is, when they're hiring someone in Australia, or they're hiring someone in Russia, or they're hiring someone in US or in the Philippines, the assessment process is absolutely the same. So
Gotcha.
the same person that, and especially just imagine the same person that is doing accounting for Mars in Procter and Gamble, sorry, in the Philippines, or for Procter and Gamble in the Philippines. What is the difference? Like to someone that is doing accounting for Procter and Gamble in Australia, it's the same accounting principle because it's a global
Yeah.
company. They're applying the same principle. So this is where you can get an accountant that used to do great job for a big corporation in another country that knows a lot of things and most probably is familiar with Australian taxation or whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
Australian things, that can do the job for you. But it
Yeah.
will be a fraction of the cost. It will be, you'll pay only just one third of the cost. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it makes a lot of sense, and I think that there's definitely a lot of, like you said, you're being left behind if you're not looking at these solutions and opportunities for small businesses here. So I really appreciate you sharing all this wealth of information, and I'm excited to share your great resource as well, the book that you recommended before. I was gonna do some rapid fire questions if that's okay, more specific about kind of running a business. But I've got 3 questions that I was going to quickly run through with you, if that's okay.
of course, go for it.
Awesome, great. The first question I wanted to ask you, Lubo, was just kind of more around how you look after yourself as a business. Do you have any rituals or daily practices that you do just to kind of make sure you're looking after yourself?
Look, yes. So like my daily routine for my mental health, like it's, to be honest, like right now I have time to spend for myself. I'm doing morning exercises. I'm running or walking with my dog. I'm cycling. I am swimming from Manly to Shelley Beach and back. This
Wow.
is probably it's either one of them, or swimming or running or cycling. So I will be doing like on the daily basis. I'm walking with my dog again in the evening. So this is where I'm listening a lot of podcasts or educational materials. I'm listening to, like recently I was read listening again like a Profit First from Mike Mikalovich.
Great book.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so just because this is like some kind of is before I didn't have time.
Hmm.
I just came, that I just came from Japan. Just
Oh,
became, so been skiing in Japan for 2 weeks, and during my skiing time with my family, one, I was able to afford to go for skiing because I have this possibility. Second, my business was not stopping during my absence. My probably 3 remote experts in different areas was continue to do the business, and
hmm.
we had received like a WhatsApp messages. Well, oh, we know that you're in Japan, but we are so pleased about the service that you're offering that we would love to have a meeting with you when you're coming back so we can get more stuff. So during our absence, actually, when we came back, we get another 3 clients, 2 of them from
Nice.
VX, one from, so business is still continue. So
That's awesome.
uh, thank you. I'm in good health, and
Sounds like it.
I wish more entrepreneurs will get freedom and they will be able to do whatever they want to do.
Amazing, Lubo. So you're looking after yourself and you're in good health. That's awesome. The next question I was going to ask you is kind of the flip side of this. What's your top tip for getting stuff done? Do you have any productivity hacks or any systems that you use to help get stuff done?
Yeah, I do have. I'll have like several angles.
Okay.
Um, uh, so I like let's say if I'll put the Mars principles, the quality, efficiency, mutuality, responsibility, and freedom. And I think the first four are bringing towards the last one, the freedom. This is where I'm very meticulous about the quality, that I like everything to be done with the right quality, because and this is I'm implementing in my personal work life attitude, and the same I'm teaching that the experts that we are offering to our clients, they should deliver the same quality type of work. So this is probably a one type of principle. The second, the probably one that I'm using always is right first time. Is the best way is to do something right from the first time.
Yeah.
If you can see something, and this is what I found. I'll give an example, whatever in e-commerce. So if you're not able to detect the wrong items that you're sending to a client, then you will spend time. It's not time. So you'll do pick and pack, but this item will be sent. So you'll pay for delivery with Australia Post. You'll have an unhappy customer, and then you'll have complaints from this customer. Then you need to send return back, and then you need to process again. And again, the cost of this processing will be much more expensive. Then at which stage, if you're able to fix this mistake, not immediately, but just straight after, it will cost you, let's say, the cost of the mistake is $1. The cost of fixing it straight away is $10. The cost of fixing it is after is $100. The cost of the freight to customers and coming back. So everything is coming exponential, 10 times more.
Yeah.
So right first time is my principle that I'm again implementing for myself and for my staff that we are providing to others. Do the
perfect
right one.
Do it right. So right first time principle. Is that right?
Yeah. But
perfect.
You can use a lot other in terms of your emails, how many times you are touching your email. And this is trying you touch an email once. If you just and then you make a decision. You don't need to leave it open or unread or something. So if you're already in this email, is the best way is to execute it, delete it, delegate it. Like this, in my case, it will be delegated, or probably in my case, actually, it will be delegated before, because I'm touching my mailbox when someone else was already filtering and already some emails was already answered on my behalf. And then when my assistant doesn't know what to answer, this is only staying for me. But again, it's staying for me. Then again, right first time, touching the first time and executing.
Gotcha. Excellent. Okay, great. Well, thanks for that. And I guess the last question for you is there any software that you couldn't live without in your business? Is there anything that you think every business should have?
Look, every business should have a CRM. It's right now when you need to have your clients, and you can use HubSpot, you can use a Go High Level, you can use whatever you're using. It's the point that you need to use something to manage your clientele, to manage your communication with clients, and you can establish a lot of sequences and a lot of logic right now. And there are even AI addition to majority of those tools that you can help you write email, write answers that you can use as well. So yeah, this is it's one of the best one. I have a tool. I will not say I have a tool that is helping me writing me answers to the emails, because as I'm saying, my so probably English is my first language, and even I'm putting to this a state immediately to this AI tool that is Voila.
Okay.
So you can use it as well, just to help you some answers. You have different calendar tools, like a booking tools right now. Everyone should have like those booking tools right now.
Yeah, agreed. CRMs are great. I'm actually right now setting up Go High Level for a client, and I use HubSpot in our business. But I'm very tempted to jump over to Go High Level. It's a fantastic tool, and like you said, all the AI integrations in there is pretty fantastic. Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Lyubo. It's been great to chat today. If I don't know if there's anything you wanted to say before we kind of wrap up the show, anything extra that you wanted to shout out to our listeners?
Well, I think for busy entrepreneurs, you just think about your freedom and about your future, why you're doing what you're doing, and think about the ways how you can generate more revenue for your business, for your family, for your kids, for your generation. And again, if you're only working and you're not spending time with your kids, with your family, this is also not right thing. So you need to find the ways. And I think outsourcing is one of the great way to optimize your time and to give away some tasks that you're not really good in. And whatever you're using us or someone else, like this is still like a great way to do it. And if you have never tried, or if you have any questions, just feel free to come to me. I'm happy to provide some details.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. For anyone watching that wants to reach out, you can always go to remostaff.com. And I believe, do you offer free sessions? Can people book in to chat with you?
Yeah, that's right. I can give you a Calendly link, and you can write an email to Lyubo, Lyubo @remostaff.com, and happy to give you a support.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Lyubo, for joining us on the Business Owners Unite podcast. It's been awesome to chat with you today. And yeah, all the best with Remo Staff. It sounds like a fantastic business.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for having me, and wish a great day to everyone, to all the listeners.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Business Owners Unite. Thank you for spending this time with us and being a part of our growing community of entrepreneurs. If you liked what you heard, please show your support by subscribing and leaving a review on your platform of choice. Your feedback helps us grow and continue to bring you valuable content. Remember, your business journey is unique, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories in our upcoming episodes.